Guys, welcome back. Vauxhall Zafira Energy customer reports stated overheating. So we've already touched on it a wee bit. We did the big hotel scan, and of course we did have some codes there. Now there was one here for this thermostat open circuit, so we'd need to get the correct loom, or the customer would maybe better actually going to a breaker's yard, going in, finding one and asking if he could chop that lead off and pay whatever they wanted for it. They may say no, they probably won't, because let's face it, it's probably just chop through these things. But it looks to me like it's had an engine. So the loom is being opened up everywhere I can see, with all the sheathings just coming off it now, but it's certainly not got any of the connectors on it. You can see all they're all broken off. Interestingly enough, it's got a brand new coolant bottle and all. Like, it's not even connected to nothing. It's meant to slide in there, so you probably need the battery out to do it, and they probably couldn't be fecked. So aye, interesting enough. So interesting as well, you see the ECU there, right? It's bolted onto the engine, right? If you like, so that's its engine ECU for its injectors, lambdas, coils, ignition. That's what that's doing, right? And when you put the hotel on it, it says, pulls its VIN code, check it, that's the VIN code for the car. However, it doesn't like the ECU, it says the wrong ECU. So it knows there's something not right. So, and I have seen this before when ECUs have been repaired on Vauxhalls, or have had a replacement, I don't have one put in it. So it knows that there's something not right with that ECU as well. So, but if you look on the engine, it says 872664. So I don't know if the timing belt's ever been done on it. The customer did ask me to have a wee peek in. To be honest with you, I would need all the timing engine mounting off it to check it. So you'd maybe as well as just doing it once you get in there, because you're going to need all that stripped down just to get in to be able to check it. And then I could maybe unbolt it and try and peel that back as much, but we could end up breaking it. The engine mount is over the top of it, if memory serves right. Now obviously we've seen that, they can't be bothered doing that, so let's see what else they can be bothered doing. So I know the clamp's no very straight here, I know that's been off, I know that one's been off. For me there is a bit of play in the water pump. But so what happens is the customer says it just comes on with a red light. I plugged this back in because they had said we'll leave that unplugged, because that'll keep your fan on, you know, so it doesn't overheat, so that'll keep the fan on. And essentially they're right. If that unplugs there, the fail safe should be that the fan comes on, right? Now I think they've maybe replaced that sensor as well and then decided that they've come to a loss, because I'll show you. So I found that little clip up in the scuttle panel, the wiper panel. So I reckon somebody's changed that sensor already and they were no further forward basically. So I think we can only really sniffer test it, but it might show that it's knackered, and or it might not, but it's not a 100% the sniffer test as well, to be honest with you, but it could be an indication that the head gasket is away on it. So, and it's maybe that they've been unfortunate whoever had it before, and they've maybe bought this engine for the breaker's yard and it's unfortunately no good. You can see as well when the bonnet's closed on the car, the bonnet's sitting high on this side. This headlamp here seems to be okay, however this one here, if you move it down here, it's moving about, right, and it's broken there. So it's broken there. We know there's these big bolts which they're not meant to be there. Those bolts there, no, that's what's meant to be in there. So you can see something's happened here and the bonnet is sitting high. If you look at the crash bar, it does look okay. This side it looks a little bit different, but I couldn't say if it's been squashed. It doesn't look like it, but it's not to say that it's been shoved that way. But that's definitely broken, so something's happened on the front corner of it, so that's broken. So yeah, you can see the bumper's just not right. It is a 59 plate car at the end of the day, so I don't expect it to be perfect, but something's definitely happened to the front of it. I can just tell with the bonnet's not right on it, and there's nothing, unless somebody's maybe screwed that right up. Could be, that one looks like it's all the way in and that one looks like it's all the way down, but maybe somebody's did that because the bonnet was rattling, so we need to confirm why it's like that. Something definitely broke that, and something's definitely had to be put in here to hold all this in place. So, and there seems to be some sort of silicone there. So we'll get up there now and see what's going on underneath. Obviously we know about all this crapness that they didn't do, so hopefully they didn't do anything else like that. Right guys, underneath the Zafira, that was not too bad. The Vauxhalls, depending how they've been looked after, corrosion wise that is, and this one's a 59 plate, we need to remember that. So that suspension arm, I would recommend replacing that just for how corroded it is. Right, that one doesn't look quite as bad. It's probably been changed. No, actually, that's original. I can tell because that's the wax that they put on them. See it on the subframe there? That's the wax they put on them from new. So you can see this as well, that's all been off. Yeah. Don't see any structural damage. There's definitely something happening. The aircon pump's leaking. So the aircon pump's leaking. Definitely some sweating here as well in the oil, engine oil, something. So I did feel maybe slight play in one of these ball joints, but I would need to double check and confirm with somebody shaking the wheel. But look at the brake foul. So the metal foul there, it's pretty badly corroded. Yeah, it's pretty badly corroded. The fouls on there, they're original brake hoses as well, so they should be changed. To be honest with you, the shock absorber looks original as well, it's pretty corroded. It's had a different bolt in it as well, so it's had a spring on that. Yeah, that one's had a spring at some point. Oh, somebody's definitely been in there because that bolt's in the opposite way for how the other one is. That's not how they do it at the factory. That foul's not quite as bad, and you can still see the writing on that one, so I wonder if that side's been changed. Maybe not, I'm not sure. It's certainly not anywhere near as bad as the other side. Yeah, it's nowhere near as bad as the other side, so the brake nipple looks quite good there. The caps are missing. The caps are on that side, and you can see, yeah, so I wonder if that side's had a flexi and a caliper at some point in its life. The gearbox end plate, I think they might be plastic on these. It's not leaking, but there's certainly the sump would probably need to... Oh, no, actually, maybe the oil cooler's maybe leaking actually. Or that switch, one of the two. Oh, that switch is new. That's been changed, the switch, and they're prone for going on all the Vauxhall models. The heat shield's broken off there as well. I think that exhaust flexi is probably going to want done. Aye, there you go, it's had a lambda. So the lambda's in there, and that looks like a cheap aftermarket thing with how it's all cable tied up. Now there was a code for ignition timing, basically telling us the timing was out. Now look at how much it's all twisted as well, Jesus. So that's a kind of aftermarket sensor in there, and that's its original one up there. Now what it was telling us was it was rich and lean, if you looked at the data. So it's maybe that sensor's wanting changed. Some cars just don't like cheap sensors. Alternator belt, would maybe recommend changing that. There's a big line appearing around it. And the customer was asking about the timing belt, and you can see the big plastic cover. I'm sure it does split, I'm sure this bottom bit splits on it if memory serves, but I think you do need the timing case off. So I would definitely recommend changing that arm. That ball joint bit there's starting to get a bit deteriorated. That one's still holding itself round tight. So the suspension arms are corroded. We know the flexi's pretty no right on it, and I'd say, judging by the amount of wires that's all unclipped on this thing, there's another one up there that's no back in. I would say this engine's been swapped, to be honest with you, on this old Zafira. So we know the middle section has been replaced. There's a good bit of corrosion on there. Axle bushes, they were going to want done at some point. Now the axle is quite corroded, so an assessment job on that, to be honest with you. Getting a bit corroded there as well, right next to your suspension mounts. It didn't come with a spare wheel, these, so the exhaust's been done on it. Rear flexes are probably original as well. That one, the brake pipe's not too bad there. That one would want changed. That one's all corroded looking. So, and the brake pipe there is part of that flexi, so you need to change them. Shocker casings really badly corroded, both sides. Right, so there is a few things to report on it. I would just advise replacing them because that one's all split. I mean, good, but we'll go with this big lever here. See, let's go with this big massive one. See what that does. Probably be okay, to be honest with you. Unless it's really bad. This is a screwdriver, don't try this. Alright, so I can move it with a screwdriver. Jesus. Right, so I can move that with a screwdriver. So that definitely is done. So, alright. Right, so it is a screwdriver, it's a Facum screwdriver. So, they're Facumed, they need changed. So there's a few bits being done on all Zafira bus, to be honest with you, but for the body, I know there's something happened on the front of it, I just can smell it. I can smell it! Something's happened on the front of it, to cause that to be a wee bit ski-whiff on that front headlamp. Broken as well, and the bonnet's a wee bit ski-whiff, so there you go guys, that's kind of the inspection done on this big Zafira bus. I spent a wee bit longer on that one, one of my dad's friends, Bill the bass player, so there you go, thanks for watching, haven't already, hit a thumb, hit a subscribe man, have yourselves a great old Monday. Guys, so it was actually not a bad thing that they left that disconnected that bottle actually. I mean, it helped me, it's not so good for the customer, but it's helped me. So you got to kind of plug this, so you see that's the sniffer fluid there, so it's got stuff here. So the test fluid turns yellow for gasoline, if there's a leak, basically hydrocarbons, so it'll go yellow for petrol cars, and it'll go green for diesel. So basically there is some more instructions on there, but basically run it up to temp and see what happens, see what colour it goes. So we'll give it a whirl and see. Obviously we know there's other issues with this car, so we'll speak to the customer. So that's that fan just come on actually, because we've got that unplugged, so I'll plug that back in. Where's the plug? So you can tell this is on alright. Somebody's been at it. That's there. Right, so it's plugged back in, but we'll need to cycle ignition. Oh no, this went off, so that's good. Well, ECU definitely works, so we'll leave it running for a little bit with that on it. I mean, we could sniff it just now, but yeah, nothing happened so far, so we'll let it come up to temp and see what happens with it. So there you go. Right, look, it was bubbling away in there, but there doesn't seem to be nothing cycling. There doesn't seem to be no coolant getting circulated. You see that? That's me forcing it through that pipe there. So flashes went, battery's getting low in here, so that's still no warm yet either. But we are getting some bubbles in the header tank there, so but if you look, it's not really forcing any water back, other than me squeezing it. You'd be expecting that, and look at that, so I'm going to stop it, it's going to overheat. Right, I think it's not changing, but that clearly, that's not even hot yet. So we're overheating and we're not even, the water's not circulating. Right, so there's lots of issues on this car. I can't even run the sniffer test any longer, it's going to overheat, so. And it's honestly not been running that long, to be honest with you. I couldn't guarantee that this hasn't done the engine in, to be honest with you, for getting that's pressurising really quick. So the cap's probably doing its job and keeping it all in. It's maybe because of the sniffer test, it's maybe just not a good seal, to be honest with you. So, right, we shall report to the customer.